Hey guys, here today to talk to you about the final exam. So, if you are watching this video, it's because either one, you were not in class the other day when I went over the final, or it's because you're looking for some clarification about it, or it's just because you, like me, are an overachiever. Either way, I'll take it. So, if you were in class the other day and you feel very confident with what I talked about the final, then you may just want to fast forward till I get to the reflection questions. But the rest of you, just kind of watch as I go through this because this is your final exam. This is 10% of your final grade for this class this year. So it is very important that number one, you complete it, and number two, that you complete it well. Okay. So this final exam is all done in a Google form. This link right here will be this video that I'm doing right now so that you can click on it. Obviously, you already know that if you're watching it. So here's the directions. There's 3 directions I want you to follow. Number 1, you're going to use the internet, specifically a website called Indeed.com, to find 2 jobs that require skills related to language arts. Number 2, you're going to fill in a job profile for each one of those jobs. And the job profile is found right here in this form, so you don't need to go anywhere else looking for it. And 3, you're going to answer some reflection questions after you complete both of the job profiles. And again, those reflection questions are found in this Google form, which I will go over with you. Here's some rules that you must follow. Number 1, you must pick one of the following words for your job search. You can either choose to type in writer editor, or communications, or actor, or market research, or lawyer. These will give you the best start to your searches because if you just go into Indeed.com and type in reading or writing, those are not going to give you good search results for jobs. If you're a little more specific, like if you type in communications or you type in market research, that's how you're going to find some really decent valid jobs for you to look through. So those are going to be the words you're going to use for your search. Number 2, you may not search teaching jobs. Those are off the table because they're just too obvious. I want you to dig a little deeper and find some other kinds of jobs that require language arts skills. 3, maybe the most important one of all, make sure that you only select a job or career that you might be interested in. So you may have to search for a little while to find one that sounds interesting to you. You're not going to be able to answer the reflection questions genuinely if you don't choose some that at least sound a little bit like they're up your alley, something that might be interesting to you, something that you thought maybe you might like to do. That's what you should be choosing. And finally, rule number 4, when you get to the end of the final, there's a section called reflection questions. When you get to that section, please keep in mind that these are sentence responses. They're not one word or one sentence responses. I expect to see at least 2 sentences per question. Okay, I expect to see complete sentences, capitals, grammar, punctuation, all that kind of stuff, because this is your final exam. You should not be rushing through this to get this done. You should be taking your time and making sure that your responses are thoughtful and that they are written well. Okay, and then the only website that you need to use is right here, and this will be hyperlinked when you see it on your form, so you can just click on it and it will take you right to Indeed.com, which is the site that we're going to use to do our job search. I don't want you on any other sites, just on Indeed. Okay, so if you were in class, we already went through this section. We actually talked about how to fill this out, but you're going to do 2 job profiles. This is job profile number 1. So when you find a job that you're thinking, yeah, that might be something I could do, you're going to write down the title, the employer, which is who's hiring you. What search words did you use? So did you use lawyer? Did you use writer editor? What were the search terms that you used to find this job? Tell me in maybe like 1 or 2 sentences, what is this job all about? Give me a brief description of the job. What do you do if you get hired to do that job? Tell me which of our ELA skills you're going to use. So are you going to use reading? Are you going to use writing? Are you going to use research? Are you going to use spelling? Are you going to use speaking? What language arts skills do you need for this job? You're going to tell me where the job is located and also what degree you need. Do you need a high school diploma? Do you need a college degree? What do you need to be able to do the job? And what everybody wants to know, how much you're going to get paid. What's your salary? Okay. And then you're going to see this repeated for job profile number 2. So if you go to indeed.com, again, we went over this in class. So if you saw this already, you can fast forward through this part. If you did not, you're going to want to watch. But what you're going to want to do is choose your search that you want to do. So let's say you want to search lawyer. You're interested in the law. You're going to want to narrow it down to a place. Now, I chose Ohio, but like if you want to move somewhere else, like let's say you want to live in Montana someday, I don't know, maybe you love Montana. You can type in Montana and look for lawyer jobs in Montana if you want to. I'm going to stick with Ohio. So I'm going to do lawyer, Ohio, find jobs. And what it's going to do now is it's going to populate all of the law or lawyer related jobs in the state of Ohio. So right here you'll see that they're going to give me 262 job openings that have to do with lawyers in the state of Ohio. Okay. Now, as I scroll down, I can see there are lots and lots of options. Okay. But instead of just randomly picking one, like I pick this one, okay, you want to actually look through the little blurb. So you want to look and see, like, where is it located? How many stars did it get? What am I going to have to do? What's the pay like? Until you find one that you're like, yeah, I kind of like that one. That one sounds like something I would like to do. Like, as I'm looking through these, I'm not super excited about any of these. Oh, exceptional lawyer as opposed to a terrible lawyer. Maybe I look through these and I'm like, you know what? Lawyer's just not for me. It doesn't seem super interesting. And that might happen. Then you can go up here and pick another one. Like maybe I do market research. Let's see. Again, this one gives me 2,762 jobs. So I'm going to have to kind of look through. Ooh, look, this one's at Nestle, right? Who doesn't love chocolate? So we look through these and I'm kind of reading these little blurbs till I find one that I'm like, yeah, you know what? That might be kind of fun. I might kind of like that one. Actually, just for fun, going to try this Nestle one. So you find one that you think you like and you click on it and it's going to pop up over here. Okay. And what you're going to see is usually there's a position summary, which tells you like what's the job all about. There's primary responsibilities, which means what are they going to expect you to be able to do? Same with all of those. It's usually going to have some kind of requirement. So it's going to tell you what kind of work experience or level of college that you need. And then if you scroll down, you'll find salary and things like that. So if I were going to choose this one and fill out my Google form about it, this is how you would do it. I'm going to go back. Sorry, job profile number 1. I need a job title. This is the job title, brand marketing associate. So I would put brand marketing associate. Now, who's the employer? Well, it's Nestle USA. So I would just come over here, Nestle USA. What search words did I use? Well, I used market research. So I would come over here and type market research. Brief description of the job. Now, this is the one where you're going to have to kind of read through the summary and the responsibilities and just be able to tell me in like 1 or 2 sentences, what do you have to do if you take this job? I absolutely do not want to see you copy pasting this. That doesn't help me or help you. And I don't have time to read through all of that either if you copy paste it. So I need you to tell me in your own words, if you take this job, what is it that you're going to be doing? What kind of ELA skills do you need? Well, here's the thing. It's not going to say in here, these are the language arts skills that you need to do this job. But what you can do is as you're skimming through it, you're going to want to look for words that talk about skills we learn in language arts. Like, look, communication. We talked about that in class. Speaking is a big part of language arts. So we could say communication. Let's see, I'm skimming and scanning. Manage, support, leverage data, trends. Here's more communications. Look, That's going to be a big one for this job. So I've got to be able to communicate well with people. Communication plan. Yeah. So the big one for this one is going to be communication. So that would be my ELA skill that we need. If I keep digging, I might be able to find a little bit of reading and writing involved too. Now, location and degree. So location is where is the job going to be located? And it always tells you right up here at the top. So this job's in Solon, Ohio. Then degree, what do I need to be able to do this job? Well, it tells me right here I need a bachelor's degree, so that's from college, and 3 years of work experience, or a master's degree. Okay. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll be able to find the salary, and you'll put that in here as well. Now, here's what I need to tell you. If you find a job, but it's missing one of these things, then you need to find another one, because you can't leave it blank. You can't put a question mark there, and you can't put like IDK if you don't know. You have to have a response. So unfortunately, even if you find one you like, if it's missing like the salary, or if it doesn't tell you what degree you need or something like that, then you're gonna have to choose another one. Okie dokie. So that's how you would do that. Then you would do this again for another job. You could do a different search. Maybe you try, um, maybe you try actor this time and see if anything pops up with an acting job that you like. And you can look through those. Oh, look, you could be one of the people at Cedar Point that like sings in the middle of the street. There you go. Perfect. Right. So you're going to want to look through those and see if any of those fit what you want to do. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the reflection questions. So this is where everybody should be back to joining me again. So the reflection questions, these are the ones, and it even reminds you here, these are the ones that need to have at least two well-developed sentences per question. So when you answer these, I should see 2 sentences or more, and it should be thoughtful responses. Okay. So the first question is, list some ways you could find out more information about jobs you are interested in. So this is one way. Indeed.com is one way to find out information about jobs you're interested in. What are some other ways? Tell me some other ways and tell me how they might help you. Okay. There's so many, there's other websites, there's people you could talk to, there's places you could go. Tell me what you know about where you could get more information about jobs that you're interested in. Okay. Or maybe like even just using Indeed, you're looking at the job description and you have questions about it. Who are you going to contact to find out your answers? So think about it that way. Number 2, which job did you find the most interesting and why? So out of the 2 you chose, which one really is kind of got your interest the most and why? What do you think is the most important thing you learned through this project? So we did this project for a reason. We were trying to kind of help you out and teach you something along the way. What's the one thing that you learned from doing this project? Based on this project, what do you want to know more about now? So do you want to know more about different types of jobs? Do you want to know more about salary? Do you want to know more about what the different degrees are that you can earn in college and what kind you should be searching for? Like, what do you want to know more about? And then this one's kind of fun. Which was the most surprising or unexpected job you found in your search results? Like, which was the one when you were reading it, you were like, really? That's weird or surprising or unexpected. And then tell me why. And those are the reflection questions. So these are the ones that we're really going to be looking at. Not that we won't look at the other ones, we certainly will, but these we're really going to be looking at to see how well you really grasped the reason why we did this project. Okay. And that's it. That is your final exam. So I'm going to put this in the instructions, but I'm going to say it again now for those of you who are still here with me. This is going to be due June the 2nd. You may not turn this in until Thursday afternoon, because we're going to meet live on Thursday morning. I'm going to go over how I'm going to score this, and I don't want you to turn it in until you are clear on how I'm going to grade this. So you may not turn this in until Thursday at noon at the very earliest. So yes, you can start working on it today, but you may not turn it in until Thursday afternoon. Okay? Alrighty. I look forward to meeting with you Thursday. We'll talk about these reflection questions a little bit more. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.